episode of ArtsEnPower. Today the host will be interviewing Shantay Robinson, an art writer for Washington City paper. She has produced a documentary and is currently working on her second. Ms. Robinson sat on the panel for Prism Art Fair in 2019 and was a distinguished student in Burning Wing Magazine's Art Writers Membership Program.
What do you love about writing about art?
I love thinking about something that's bigger than me. The art that I like to write about mostly deals with socio-economic and historical issues. So I like to think about history and society when I write about art.
What made you choose your career path?
I was just really drawn to it. I enjoy it so much that I figured if I want to write, then I have to be serious about it. So I decided to, get some more education in writing and really devote time to writing.
What is your best decision about your career?
I think going to grad school was my best decision. When I graduated undergraduate school, I didn't want to go back to graduate school, but I found that the skills that I've gained in graduate school really helped me to be a better worker and to be more informed.
Who motivated you for being an art writer?
I was mostly self-motivated to be an art writer. I didn't know anyone else who was an art writer, but I was so intrigued by art that I just wanted to be a writer. And after I finished my undergraduate school, I figured out, I went to school for television, radio, film management, but I figured out that I wanted to be a writer after I had done all that work. It's like, I want to write. So when I found art in that contemporary art class, I decided to write about art.
Who's your favorite art writer?
Well, I like Jerry Saltz. I follow him on Instagram. He has a sense of humor, but I really enjoy him because he didn't come up as an art historian. He found himself, similar to the way I found myself, interested in art. He was an artist, but he didn't really have any formal training in it, so I like him because of his story.
Who was or still is your motivation?
My mother is my motivation. She is a really ambitious person. When I was younger, she held fashion shows and she baked cakes and she did all in catering and all this stuff. And so I look to her as motivation to just, inspire me to do the best that I can do with everything that I do.
How did you get involved with Marine Brooks Caribbean Dance Company?
I started dancing when I was 2 years old, and so I was dancing with a couple different dance schools. But my mother's friend had a daughter who was in the touring company of the Marine Brooks Caribbean Dance Theater, and she thought it would be a good idea for me. So I auditioned and I got in, and I performed with them for 2 years before I moved.
Do you have any hobbies?
I love to dance, like we talked about, so I like dancing. And writing is my main thing. That's what I like to do most.
Were there any challenges that you overcame?
Dealt with mental health issues for a while, and I still do. So that's something that that's always in the back of my mind. But I have to maintain my composure, and I think that writing about art really helps me to focus on something other than myself. It's something that's bigger than me, and so that really helps me to get by.
You along the way.
Oh my goodness. I have a very supportive family, and so my mother especially has been supportive of me in everything I do. She's the one who encouraged me to dance, because when I was 2 years old, I was in a performance and I didn't want to go out on stage. I was scared, so I never went out on stage that night. But my mother put me in dance classes from there on, and so like when I was with the Marine Brooks Caribbean Dance Company, I performed probably like every weekend in front of audiences of hundreds of people. So my mother was really the force.
How did you become what you are today?
I believe in education. So I went to graduate school for writing at Savannah College of Art and Design, and I took an art history class, and I was so amazed by all the knowledge that was shared in the art history class that I decided to be a docent, a volunteer tour guide at the museum, at the High Museum of Art in Atlanta. And so after that, I joined the Burnaway mentorship program, Art Writers Mentorship Program. So I learned about art writing, and then I did the Q critic mentoring program, and so from there I started writing at local publications, and I was noticed by the founder of Black Art in America, which is a national publication, so I started writing for them, and I also write for Washington City Paper here in the DC area.
Is there a certain idea of an emotion that you think about while writing about it?
When I'm writing, I want to educate my audience. I know that there are art writers who are who appeal to a different audience, a more educated audience, a more informed audience about art. But the audience that I'm writing to is for people who don't know very much about art but would like to learn.
Thank you for coming for ArtsEnPower.
Thank you so much for having me.
ArtsEnPower is a student-run production of Maryland Community Media Youth Media Academy. The Youth Media Academy is a media production training program for students ages 11 to 17. Through this program, students will empower to speak to professional artists and gain insight of transforms ideas.